What do a futuristic floating city rising from the sands, a snow-draped ski resort in the heart of the Saudi desert, and a nuclear fusion reactor blazing hotter than the sun all have in common? These aren't just engineering marvels, they're audacious declarations of human ambition. Each one pushes the boundaries of what we thought possible. They're not just projects. They're multi-billion-dollar wagers on a world that doesn't exist yet, but might if these visions succeed. From mega airports that remain frozen in time, to underwater tunnels that battle the very forces of nature, these ventures are rewriting the rules of design, scale, and imagination. Some are unfinished. Others defy logic. But all of them stand as towering symbols of power, progress, and possibility. These are the most expensive construction projects ever conceived, where innovation meets obsession, and the future is being forged in steel, concrete, and sheer determination. London's Tunnel Trouble. Beneath the bustling streets of one of the world's oldest cities, a modern marvel took shape, burrowing through centuries of history to deliver a faster, smarter future. The Elizabeth Line, London's $23 billion high-speed rail, was meant to be a triumph of engineering and efficiency. But instead, it became a saga of setbacks. Opening in 2022, 4 years behind schedule, the project was plagued by the sheer complexity of tunneling beneath a living museum. Navigating ancient foundations, integrating next-generation systems, and aligning multiple transport networks proved far more difficult than anticipated. Costs soared. Deadlines slipped. Frustration mounted. Now operational, the Elizabeth Line carries millions across the city with speed and ease, easing congestion and transforming commutes. But the question lingers. Was it worth the turmoil? To some, it's a vital artery for a growing metropolis, a long overdue investment in infrastructure. To others, it's a case study in how even the most advanced projects can buckle under the weight of their ambition. In the end, it's not just a tunnel, it's a testament to the price of progress. The fusion experiment. Buried deep in the south of France, one of humanity's most daring scientific endeavors is taking shape. A $24 billion machine that could unlock the power of the stars. It's called ITER, and its goal is as audacious as it is vital, to prove that nuclear fusion, the reaction fueling our sun, can be harnessed here on Earth to deliver clean, limitless energy. Backed by a global coalition of 30 countries, ITER represents decades of collaboration, innovation, and unwavering hope. But it's also been plagued by delays, technical complexity, and soaring costs. Since construction began in 2010, its timeline has slipped further into the future. Now, with components slowly coming together, the world is watching as ITER prepares for its first plasma test, scheduled for 2025. It's a high-stakes experiment, one with no guaranteed payoff. But if it succeeds, it could transform the global energy landscape forever, replacing fossil fuels with a virtually inexhaustible power source. And if it fails, it will stand as one of the most expensive lessons in the history of science. Europe's billion-dollar backbone. It's the most ambitious infrastructure overhaul in European history, a colossal $10 trillion vision that's already crossed the $600 billion mark, with no signs of slowing. Spanning decades and stretching toward 2050, this isn't just about rebuilding roads or laying tracks. It's about weaving an entire continent together through a single, seamless transportation grid. At its core, high-speed rail lines slicing across borders, highways re-engineered for the next century, deep-water ports primed for global trade, and airports reimagined from the ground up. The mission? To deliver faster, cleaner, more efficient travel and commerce, on a scale Europe has never seen. But for all its promise, this mega-project comes with monumental challenges. Nearly 30 nations must move in lockstep, navigating a maze of political friction, environmental scrutiny, and bureaucratic red tape. The result? Delays, ballooning budgets, and a constant fight to keep momentum alive. Still, if it succeeds, the impact could be historic. Border bottlenecks could vanish. Emissions could plummet. And Europe could stand as a model for how to unify infrastructure in a fractured world. But with so much at stake, the question remains, will this become the backbone of a stronger, greener Europe? Or will it crumble under the weight of its own ambition? the desert's theme park giant. In the heart of Dubai's endless sand, a dream once rose, so massive, so ambitious, it was poised to eclipse every entertainment destination on Earth. Dubailand, a $76 billion megaproject, was envisioned as the crown jewel of global tourism, sprawling across a footprint twice the size of Disney World. The plan was bold: luxury resorts, colossal shopping complexes, massive sports arenas, and even a full-scale replica of the Taj Mahal. It was meant to cement Dubai as the world's entertainment capital, a place where fantasy and fortune would collide. But then came the global financial crisis. Construction slowed. Budgets shrank. What began with fireworks and fanfare soon unraveled into silence and steel skeletons. Some attractions did open, others were quietly scaled back, rebranded, or absorbed into newer projects that promised more realism and less risk. Today, Dubailand stands as both a monument to vision and a warning about volatility. It's a tale of limitless ambition tempered by economic reality, a reminder that even in a city built on spectacle, not every dream makes it out of the desert. Moscow's vertical makeover. Rising above centuries of classical architecture, a new Moscow has taken shape, bold, gleaming, and reaching for the sky. Known as Moscow City, this $12 billion business district is Russia's striking answer to the skylines of London, New York, and Dubai. Launched in the 1990s, the project was a bold declaration that Russia was open for business and ready to compete on a global stage. Europe's tallest towers now dominate the horizon, housing luxury residences, high-end retail, and corporate powerhouses within walls of glass and steel. But the journey hasn't been seamless. Economic crises, political turbulence, and construction delays challenged its momentum. Even today, critics point to half-empty towers and soaring maintenance costs as signs of overreach. Yet despite its flaws, Moscow City stands as a symbol of transformation, a vertical leap from the past into a vision of modern ambition. Whether it's a beacon of progress or a monument to excess, it's impossible to ignore what it represents. A nation reshaping its identity, one skyscraper at a time. California's high-speed headache. It was meant to redefine American transportation, a sleek, 220 miles per hour high-speed rail linking San Francisco to Los Angeles, gliding past gridlocked freeways and shrinking a sprawling state. But what began as a $33 billion dream has spiraled into a $100 billion dilemma, with progress mired in controversy and the finish line nowhere in sight. Years in, not a single mile of track is fully operational. Land acquisition battles, environmental pushback, and fierce political infighting have turned momentum into gridlock. Timelines have slipped, budgets have exploded, and faith in the project continues to erode. Yet the vision remains as powerful as ever, a clean, efficient rail system that could slash emissions, ease traffic, and modernize American transit. To its backers, it's a generational investment, a bold leap toward a more sustainable future. But to its critics, it's a cautionary tale of overreach and mismanagement. As costs climb and patience thins, the question lingers: is California building a breakthrough, or burying billions in the desert, a city built from scratch? On the shores of the Red Sea, Saudi Arabia is attempting something few nations dare: a city built entirely from the ground up. King Abdullah Economic City, or KEC, is a $100 billion experiment in economic transformation, spanning a staggering 70 square miles. It's not just a place to live, it's a blueprint to redefine the kingdom's future beyond oil. Designed as a self-contained metropolis, KEC blends residential neighborhoods, a major shipping port, sprawling industrial zones, corporate districts, and entertainment hubs. It's meant to attract investors, draw in tourists, and create a new economic engine rooted in logistics, business, and innovation. Some of that vision is already taking shape. Communities have opened. The port is active. But progress has been anything but smooth. Global economic shifts, shifting national priorities, and prolonged construction delays have kept the project from fully hitting its stride. Billions have been poured in, and expectations remain sky-high. Yet as the timeline stretches and momentum falters, one question looms large: can KEC become the vibrant economic magnet it was meant to be? Or will it stand as a monumental reminder of a dream still waiting to be realized? Libya's desert pipeline. Beneath the scorching sands of the Sahara lies one of the world's most extraordinary feats of engineering, an underground river not of nature, but of ambition. The Great Man-Made River Project, a $20 billion megasystem, was designed to tap into ancient fossil aquifers buried deep beneath the desert and carry that water across 1,700 miles to Libya's coastal cities and farmlands. Launched in the 1980s, the project was a bold response to a critical need, transforming arid landscapes and fueling agriculture in one of the driest regions on Earth. For decades it worked. Water flowed, crops grew, and cities expanded. But there's a catch. The water reserves are non-renewable, drawn from prehistoric underground lakes that won't replenish. And as Libya descended into civil conflict, the pipeline's maintenance suffered. Sections have fallen into disrepair, vulnerable to sabotage, neglect, and the slow grind of time. Still, for millions, it remains a vital source of life, a fragile, aging artery pumping hope through the desert. But the question hangs in the air. How long can a nation rely on a vanishing resource before the taps run dry? Turkey's airborne ambition. In the heart of Istanbul, where east meets west, a new aviation titan was born, a colossal $11 billion airport designed to challenge the world's most iconic travel hubs. Istanbul Airport, with its breathtaking scale and audacious ambition, aims to handle 200 million passengers annually, positioning itself as a global gateway like no other. Opening in 2018, it was designed to be a modern marvel, sprawling terminals, multiple runways, and a metro link seamlessly connecting travelers to the city. Yet, behind the gleaming glass and steel, the project was far from smooth. Environmental concerns, labor disputes, and construction delays marred its development, making the path to completion a turbulent one. Today, it stands as a symbol of Turkey's rising economic power, a bold statement that the nation is ready to compete on the world stage. But the question remains, will Istanbul Airport live up to its towering promise and reshape global air travel, or will it become a costly monument to overambition? The coming years will tell. The $500 billion dream. $500 billion. No finish line in sight. Welcome to Enom, a project so vast, so radical, it's rewriting the very definition of a megacity. This isn't just about building a skyline. This is the line, a 105-mile-long linear metropolis with no roads, no cars, and zero carbon emissions. It's a city designed not around traffic, but around people. But Enom is far more than just a city. It's Oxagon, the world's largest floating industrial hub, anchored in the Red Sea. It's Trojena, a snow-covered ski resort rising in the middle of a desert. It's a mosaic of futuristic zones where AI, robotics, and renewable energy converge in ways the world has never seen. Located in the arid northwest of Saudi Arabia, this project is already under construction, backed by an unprecedented $500 billion commitment from the Saudi government. With a 2030 deadline looming, progress is racing against time. And the technology to make it all work? It's still evolving, still unproven, still catching up. Supporters call it the city of the future, clean, efficient, and hyper-connected. A revolutionary blueprint for how we'll live in the decades to come. But critics? They see a dazzling fantasy, heavy on hype and light on practicality, a glittering gamble with no guaranteed payoff. Yet one fact remains undeniable. Enom is the most expensive construction project humanity has ever attempted. And as costs continue to skyrocket, whispers of it reaching the trillion-dollar mark are no longer far-fetched. Is this a bold glimpse into tomorrow, or the most extravagant experiment the world has ever seen? Only time will decide.